like I think our age is in this weird middle paradigm where like older people, like books as an example, people love reading the physical books, the paper, like opening it up. Just same with like vinyl. Like Suits and I talked last week about how vinyl collection, it's
Right.
such a physical medium of holding it, of experiencing it, of reading the lyrics and the artwork and everything. It's like same with art, like drawing on something physical, it's an experience with it. And I almost feel like younger generations, and just kind of as time evolves on, you know, a lot of younger people are reading everything on iPads now. They're doing all of their work on computers. Like they're kind of getting away, like all of their music is on Spotify or Apple Music or something. So they're kind of getting away from that physical nostalgia that maybe a lot of us had. And who knows, 20 years from now, people are going to be like, wait, who uses a book to read something anymore?
There is like I was really torn between it because I know there was like some apps where you can do pottery on the app, and then you have your own pottery studio, and I'm like, that is not the same though.
Right.
And then I remember like I was really heated about that because I'm like, there's certain things that you cannot take away. Yeah, like you can't make that disconnect because it's not the same. Like you're gonna get muddy when you're touching pottery. Like, yeah, you're gonna like mess up your piece and stuff. It's not gonna always be perfectly centered. Like, and I feel like there's sometimes a lot of takeaway, and that's the same thing with like digital art. Is like I feel like you get the advantage of using what, like, I will follow a Bob Ross stream on my tablet and I'm like, I got all these brushes, I got all these colors, like, and you know what I mean, like I don't have to go buy it and stuff, and like that's good, but also I'm like, I am missing the like effect of like a paintbrush actually not going my way, or like I don't have that color, or I'm trying to mix the color but it's not the same color, but you know what I mean, like, so I kind of miss that because it's almost like nostalgic when you have to, like, I don't want to say struggle, but like, you know,
it's like the imperfections almost make it more human in a way, kind of.
Exactly. It's not like a copy kind of, I don't know, not that you're doing that, but it's just like it definitely feels different.
I feel that a lot nowadays with music. Like music is so easy to just put into, you know, a program. Say, right.
Yeah, because like even with like music, like you can get like a drum pack and you don't even have to play the drum. You just press a button and and there's your cymbal crash. Like, you know what I mean? But you're taking away from the actual physical of like doing it. And there's something that technology, like, I don't know. My one friend, she said it best with because even we were out in California and she took a picture on her phone. And you know, when you take it's same thing with photography. Something that looks really beautiful in your eyes does not translate on a photo, and you're just like, and she's like, there's nothing better than the human eye. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. Like, there's nothing better than, like, I guess physical when it comes to like doing anything creative. It's just, it's not the same. But
I was totally thinking that exact same thing. Like a couple nights ago, we had a really big, I think it was a full moon. It was like a big moon in the sky. I took my phone out, like zoomed in all the way to try to take a photo of it. And it was just like a white blob of nothing. And I'm just like looking at my phone and then like looking at it myself. And I'm like my eyes can see the dips in the craters and like the actual, like just everything of the moon. And then my, you know, fancy smartphone over here can't get nothing, but it's like, yeah, it's really interesting, just that human, almost just that humanness of it, you know.
Right.
I feel that with music a lot, like when especially playing, you know, piano or guitar, it's a big component of it is the imperfections, and you know, playing those wrong notes and trying to almost fake it in a way, like, oh yeah, we just playing jazz over here, all the notes are supposed to be like that. And just kind of getting that more, it is more of a human feel, you know, the mistakes and the problems you make along with it, like that's just kind of the human nature of it. Whereas when you listen to some music where everything is so on beat, everything is so pitch perfect, everything is auto-tuned, everything is just like so processed, and it's tough for me. Auto-tune's the thing I really struggle listening to, no matter what music it is. It's just like there's something so passionate and beautiful about the human voice, and I think like everyone has a beautiful voice within them to sing with, and when you muddle that with auto-tune, it takes so much of that human emotion out of it. I really struggle to listen to music with auto-tune.
There's something about like what I've realized with music that I really enjoy is like when you hear somebody playing guitar and you can hear their fingers slide up like
Oh
the
yeah.
string. I don't know why, that's just like that's like what sends shivers sometimes a song, and I'm
It's
like,
real.
yeah, when you like, yeah, exactly. And when you take that away, like that is an experience in itself that you're taking away from people who are listening, and like it's not
That,
the same.
that's why I love
It's not
live.
the same.
I love listening to like live concerts and live music,
Mm-hmm.
because that's even like more imperfect and more prone to improvisation and just
Right.
spur of the moment things. And yeah, live music is just it can be way better because of that. It could be way worse because of that. There could be some terrible performances, but like just I don't know. Kind of when the very first question I asked you about the whole immortality thing, I was thinking about it before I placed the call, and I'm like, that's such a, like, if you are immortal and you don't ever die, like there's a lot of great things that can come of that, and experiencing the universe and time and everything, but like you lose such a fundamental aspect of what it means to be human. Like part of what makes being human good and bad is that we know that there's eventually like a finish line somewhere, and that just means every single day we need to try our best to make every single day matter, because it could be here tomorrow, it could be in a week, or in a year or multiple years. And it's just, I don't want to use the cliche of like live every moment and all of that stuff,
no,
but it is so true.
You have to.
Right.
Yeah, you have to. Like I think about that a lot sometimes, and especially because like we're getting older, and I'm just like,
what is life?
Like I'm 29, and I'm like, I'm hitting 30, and like when I was younger, if you were like, what do you want to do when you're, nothing that I said as a kid, like I was set that I was going to be married with a house, probably some kids at like 21, 22.
Yeah.
None of that happened. And like that's what's so wild to me about life, is that you don't know what's gonna happen, and it's terrifying at the same time, but also there's a part of me that gets exciting, because I don't know about you, but like there's been years in my life where like it would be a really hard year for me, or like I went through things, or I'd have like a great year, and like the only thing that weirdly brings me comfort with anything, like if you're having a really hard time in life, is that like time, I don't want to be like time heals everything, but sometimes I look back and I'm like, I was really down in like a bad part of my life like a few years ago, and now I'm like thriving, or like every year I feel like I'm doing something completely different and I'm growing as a person. Like, and I think that's what's exciting about life is that you get to watch yourself develop into a different person at different stages in your life. And that's why like immortality, I feel like I would get bored of myself, because I'd be like, yeah, but Heather like of thousands of years ago was a lot cooler than this Heather. Like, you know, I could just feel like like
too much time. There is such a thing.
Yeah, too much time. So I agree with you, and it's cliche to be like live life to like the fullest and every day of like as if it's your last kind of deal, but like it's true. Like enjoy the time you have, and it's never too late to change paths in your life of anything that you're doing if you're not happy with it, because you got time. I
totally agree, like honestly with all of that. Yeah, do you I've noticed with moments with myself, it's almost like every single year or every like 2 years, I kind of develop a real deep interest in something and just go super insane, read everything I can about it, watch all the YouTube videos on it, and then like the next year I'll still have interest in it, but it's like I've started focusing my deep attention into other matters, and it's like every year I kind of dive into a new niche. Do you do that as well? Or like every other year or a couple years or something?
No, like because I know what you're saying. Like I've definitely, yeah, I guess so. I feel like that's human though. I feel like you do that, because it's not that you're bored with it, but you're just like, okay, like on to the next thing. Like I'm very much the person that once I have something, or once I feel very complete about it, I'm ready for the next thing. And it doesn't even have to be a year, it could be tomorrow, and I'm like, okay, that's like, we're satisfied with this, let's move on to like the next big step or anything like that. So yeah, I feel that. I feel like I get really involved with some certain things even like pottery, like that was a big part of my life, and I was just like, all right, well, I'm okay with putting this to bed and like on to the next thing kind of deal. But like I said, I think that's just like, that just happens as you get older. Like you're not gonna really, it's sad, but it's just like, you know, at the same time it's exciting because like, what if like in 5 years from now my big thing is skydiving, and like, or like you're going to like, you're going to space like in 20, like, you know what I mean? Like, so it's one of those things, like life is unpredictable, but that doesn't have to be scary. It can be really exciting because you never know what opportunity. Like I didn't know I was going to be on a podcast like in the next year with a friend. Like, you know what I mean? Like I didn't think I was going to be streaming or doing art and getting commit. Like it's just, it's so, life is weird. It's cool. I love it though. It's cool.
The excitedness and the nervousness though, again, is just what makes us human, right?
Right, exactly.